there. Welcome back to my channel, Healing with Kearra. Today I wanted to do a Celtic cross spread and just like show you guys how I just go about doing just like a daily energy check using this spread. It's like an older classic one. I've had friends like kind of give me a weird look or like think that I'm a little weird when I tell them that I really like using it. I think it might be like outdated in some people's opinion, but like I said before, I like to use it to just do like a daily energy check, basically. Check for myself. We're using the Star Seeker Tarot, the mini pocket edition. Oh Lord. Okay. So I get one card and flip it over. So I shuffle, and then I like shuffle until one card comes out, flip it over, and then I cut the deck. And I'm going to just pull from there, starting at the top, going around. So yeah, in this spread, I think it's 10 cards. So we have the Ace of Wands. This is like the center of the energy here. This is like the first card that came out that I built everything around. And then we have the Four of Wands in the crossing position. The Judgment in the overhead position coming in here. The Queen of Pentacles in the receive energy, the energy you're walking into. The King of Cups, grounding the situation. And the Page of Swords is the energy that you're leaving behind or like walking away from here. And then you have the Sun, your house. We have the Lovers here. You might be able to hear my dog like sniffling in the background. She's frustrated that she's not getting more attention right now, but she's one of those dogs that needs all the attention, so she's okay. Very well taken care of. She's just like, you're not talking to me. The Hermit. This is like your hopes and fears here. And then the current outcome of the situation right now, we have the Fool. So right away, like when I look at this Page of Swords, I'm seeing there's this really, really turbulent energy here that they're like walking away. You're walking away from and walking into this. It's a much more. It's the exact opposite. Like this is really foggy, chaotic. Like you're not sure what's ahead, but you're gonna have to persevere through it. And this is like peace, serenity, drawing in beautiful things to you, being able to take care of yourself. Like with the books here and just like all of the flowers, it's like you can have like nice things and ground yourself and study things. With the Judgment overhead, there's like a break in the energy. It's like there's a light shining in on whatever was going on here. There's like a shift coming in, some sort of like you are representing the sun, so you're really, really shining here. So I'll get back to this part here. So like with the Hermit being in your hopes and fears, the first thing I thought is like being afraid to end up alone. Like with the Fool, it's like the outcome here, it's like someone is almost afraid of going out on this journey and having this like new beginning or this fresh start here, because your house, we have the Lovers here. So this is all about like choices in relationships here. And so I'm seeing you're shining really, really brightly right now. It's like you got a break. Like there's some sort of like you finally caught a break in your circumstance or whatever you've been going through. And it's like it feels too good to be true, because like you've been on your own for a long time, and so you're kind of like afraid to end up like that, but at the same time that's how you've gotten comfortable. And so now that like you have this new opportunity for this new start here, this like new beginning, you're having a hard time making that choice, or like you are afraid that the other person is not someone around you. So your house is just like the people around you in your environment. It could be like your coworkers, someone in your relationship, family members, people you literally live with, so however it resonates. But you're scared this other person, this other party isn't going to make the same choice to like take this leap here and jump in. But you've been alone for a really long time, so you're also comfortable that way. But at the same time, you're scared to end up that way. And so, yeah, you're afraid this other person here isn't going to make the same choices that need to be made here. And it's like, now's the time, right? There's like something's coming to a head here to where like once you jump in, then there's like no going back, once the light is shined on something here, or like what I'm also seeing with this Queen of Pentacles is like you're coming to a place where you can like really shine. Like you're really shining and you can really take care of yourself and like kind of stand on your own. And that can be really scary if you're used to like being alone or being more isolated, or like not being exposed. So we have the King of Cups grounding the situation. And so I feel like that's your house here. That's like the other person that you're scared is not going to make the choice. Like, this is what's grounding the situation, and so this is what's here, this other person here with this offer. This is what's triggering all of these fears about, like, you're just so used to in the past, like, always having to expect something, and like always having to like navigate something, and like never really being sure, and like it was just always this like really fight or flight energy. So being able to really be at peace and like calm down and just like settle in your energy and relax and like truly start to take care of yourself and nurture yourself and let your light shine. It's like, this is your time, you know. It's like a really dark, heavy cloud is being lifted. It's like you totally earned this. You've really walked through your darkness here, like had your dark night of the soul, if you will, and now you're having like an awakening here, and you're re-emerging out of this, just like shining really, really brightly. And then you have this other person here, this really grounded in the situation, this giving you this really solid offer here. What I'm getting with him like floating up here is like he's risen above this darkness as well. Like he always saw you in this higher light, and so so we have the Ace of Wands. This is like the whole center of the whole thing. So I feel like this is representing like a new opportunity for passion here. And so if you see how this Ace of Wands is kind of like emerging, it's like all of the light, and there's like some darkness and some cloudiness here, and then there's like all of this brightness, and it's like kind of like emerging. So it's really been like a process here to get to, if you can see, it's like you had to really come out of the darkness. So something is emerging here, and there's like this new opportunity here. It's like what's with this here, I'm seeing like flames. So this is like Phoenix energy of like rising from the ashes. It's like re-emerging here. So it's like this Ace of Wands is a part of this here, this like re-emergence, where something's being like revived. So maybe that's a part of the reason why you're scared that this King of Cups isn't going to make a choice here, and you're going to end up alone. But at the same time, you've gotten really, really comfortable being alone, so you're also kind of uncomfortable with the idea of taking that leap and taking that first step yourself too. But so we have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and so there's this like planning, there's like this thinking over the horizon, and it's like considering here, and also like dreaming, like looking out and kind of like dreaming of how it could be. And then it's interesting that I said like with the re-emergence, with the Judgment, and then maybe that's why you're scared they're not going to make a certain choice, is because, you know, maybe in the past they didn't here. So because we have the Five of Cups under the Two of Wands, so this is a part of why there's so much thinking and considering going on here, is because in the past there's some things that went wrong here in some way. So there's this hesitancy because there's still some really, really dark energy here from what happened, but there's still you know, the whole reason that you're really thinking about it and considering it is because there's still something here. There's this new, with the Ace of Wands, it's like the aces represent like opportunity. So it's an opportunity to kind of rise above the darkness here and the cloudiness and the confusion, and have this like re-emergence here, this reawakening with this person. So that's probably why they're so grounded in the situation, is it's maybe someone you've known from your past or like known from a long time. You guys are both like really, really thinking about each other, and really in this place of like feeling super, super like having each other in each other's heart still. So we have the Four of Wands is what's crossing the situation. So it's like basically the two of you both needing to make a choice here to like choose each other, right? With the Lovers, it's all about choices. So you are scared this other person is not going to make this choice here. To like have this with you, to celebrate, to be like, okay, it's you and I, we're in this together, like here we go. Because of what's happened in the past, there's this like, you don't know if you take, okay, see how these are similar? See how these are really similar? There's this fear that if you take these steps and you start making these jumps and you dive into this, the other person is not going to be standing here with you. Like they're not going to make the same choices with the Lovers here. They're not going to make the same decisions, and it's going to leave you on your own, having learned another lesson here, right? That's a huge fear. But also because it's happened so much, it's also like your comfort zone. So it's also like you could be the one that doesn't make this choice because you prefer to stay alone on some level. Even though it's your biggest fear, it's like the choice that you make sometimes because you're scared that the other person, it's like this fear that the other person isn't going to be standing there with you, you're not going to be victorious together, that causes you to like push people away and just be alone because you're like, well, I don't know if they're going to choose me, so I'm not going to choose them. Yeah, I'm getting this as like love related for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of potential here, like with the rainbow. Like there's definitely potential here for like new hope, fresh start. Let's get one of these cards. These are the Hands of the Ancient Medicine cards. Guidance from the Four Corners, created by Jan Wright. Very, very talented artist. Okay. Alright. So, at the bottom of the deck, we have Weaving the Cosmos. Weaving the cosmos of Father Sky. Nighttime sky, connecting with others, the web of life. This Navajo weaver creates her masterpiece in the vast Monument Valley in the Four Corners. The warp threads of her loom reach up to Father Sky, and the weft creates the cosmos, weaving a delicate basket of stars in the nighttime sky. The Paiutes, among other ancient tribes, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, I don't know, believe the sky is such a woven basket into which the stars were placed at the time of creation. According to some Navajo, Pueblo, and Hopi mythology, it was Grandmother Spider, the supreme weaver, who took a web she had spun, laced it with dew, threw it into the sky, and the dew became the stars. That's interesting because the Wheel of Fortune in this deck is literally a spider web. Anyways. Take time to look into the nighttime sky and marvel at the stars, plants, and the moon that look down upon you. Always ask if ones you are particularly drawn to have a message for you, then listen for what you receive may be profound. Throughout time, stories have been woven to reveal where we come from. Look at your personal history or her history and acknowledge the intricate woven patterns that make you who you are. Have you woven your story? As you have walked your path, consider what important people, things, and experiences have met you to which you formed a tie on your web. As you spiral ever outward, connecting all the threads, honor your path and all to which you are connected. Just as the weaver or web or basket begins at the center and works outward, spiraling round and around, so is our life, a pattern begun in the very center of our being and outward into the world. On each cycle outward on the spiral, we may meet and deal with the same issues. How we address them, learn the lessons, and let them go may determine how difficult those issues are to deal with on our next cycle throughout that energy. Are you recycling throughout a reoccurring issue that needs to be finally resolved? Look at the threads you have woven to create the nagging issue. Look at the connections you have made, possibly making you feel trapped in a web. You may need to cut the ties and start a new thread. We are but a thread on the web of life. What we do to the web, we do to all life. All is connected. So yeah, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So yeah, there's this huge fear, like you're making the connections of the past and thinking like, well, I don't know if they're gonna make this choice and they're gonna meet me here. So then there's this need to like, or this desire to maybe self-sabotage so that you just stay alone because you feel more comfortable that way because that's what you're scared to get. So there was so much here that made so much sense. Like, oh my gosh. I'm a little bit dyslexic, so I'm sorry if I like mumbled it up a little bit and made it a little bit difficult there. I'm gonna read this last paragraph again because I feel like that was mainly the part. Just as the weaver of web or basket begins at the center and works outward, spiraling round and round, so is our life a pattern begun in the very center of our beginning and outward into the world. On each cycle outward on the spiral, we may meet and deal with the same issues. How we address them, learn the lessons, and let them go may determine how difficult those issues are to deal with on our next cycle throughout that energy. Are you recycling throughout a reoccurring issue that needs to finally be resolved? Look at the threads you have woven to create the nagging issue. Look at the connections you have made, possibly making you feel trapped in a web. You may need to cut the ties and start a new thread. We are but a thread of life. What we do to the web, we do to all life. All is connected. Chief Seattle. And this photo is from Monument Valley, which spreads from Utah throughout Arizona. I've said on my channel a couple times here, I'm from Southwest Colorado, like really, really, really close to the Four Corners. So I grew up just with a very heavy like Spanish and Native American culture and influence all around me. Like as a kid, I didn't even realize it was like those cultures or whatever. I just thought that was, that was just how everything was, like all the houses and literally everything. You just have to visit the area and you'll understand. It's like the whole Four Corners area is just like really connected, and it should be its own little state, personally, I think. But okay, so let's keep going here. Because so this one makes perfect sense as well. So we have family of heart, deep connection, acceptance of differences, unconditional love, help each other to grow. These handprints vary in size, indicating perhaps mother or father and children. On the stone is a perfectly shaped heart in which pebbles have collected. Together they indicate the love of family. If you have drawn this card, take a moment. And so that other card was the bottom of the deck energy, like the Weaver here. This is the card that you got. So if you've drawn this card, take a moment to feel the deep connection to those you love and care about in your family. Just as the heart shape has collected little rocks, our love for our children, parents, and our other loved ones is an assemblage of lots of experiences, some colorful gems, and some rocky and sharp. Still, they all make up that heart. If you struggle with a relationship in your family, look closely if the problem relies in your own judgment of what you think they should do or think or believe. It's good to remember that though they may have been with you since birth, they still are their own person. They came into this world with their own lessons, and actually they may be here to create all sorts of lessons for you. We're in this game of life together, and we were drawn to our family to help each other to figure it out, to grow spiritually and emotionally. When there is a flare-up, ask yourself what is your part in it and find out what you can learn from it. Put it on you, not them. When the conflict will dissolve or at least lessen. When these same people drive us nuts, we have the opportunity to accept their differences, honor who they are, and just love them. That's the key to loving unconditionally. When we put their needs above our own neediness to be right or to be loved or to be appreciated for all we do, to be understood, when we truly listen to what we want to say, to what they want to say, we become open to greater understanding, allowing both parties to grow. The absolute best communication with children or with other family members assists them in thinking that they have it figured out rather than telling them what to do. Ask questions to lead them to what you hope will be their choice to a solution. This takes a great amount of effort, but in the long run keeps the relationship in love and respect, and the rewards will be great. May you constantly remind yourself of the love and deep connection you feel for your children, parents, siblings, and all other relationships. May you fully realize you have been brought together to help each other grow and move out into the world as loving and caring people. And these pictographs here are superimposed on a stone in Moab, Utah. Absolutely gorgeous place, Moab. Okay, so totally what I'm seeing with this here is like with this energy of what I was picking up on, how you are afraid that the other person isn't going to make a choice here and it's going to leave you stranded. This is coming from, and I'm not trying to be offensive at all, this is just the energy that I'm picking up on, so if this doesn't resonate, you don't have to take it. But this is coming from this like inner need. Sometimes when we've been through situations like this for so long, like you had to fight so hard and overcome so much to keep yourself all good. And so now that you've got into this place, you really want to like keep it together, right? And so it's coming from this inner need to like control the situation. Like sometimes when you feel out of control, you try to control anything that you can around you in the situation. So you don't realize, but you may be projecting your own like fears and your own insecurities off on this other party and thinking like you're looking at their decisions and the way that they're going about things and you're like, this is not going to lead them to this stone with me, you know? And so in your mind, from your perspective, you feel like they're not making the choices or they're not going about things in a way that is like showing up for you, or that like you're just scared. You're seeing their actions, their choices, how they're going about things, their process of how they're doing it, and you have this fear that they're not going to meet you where they are. Like you're going to end up alone. And it's not coming from a place of like, oh, you're so controlling. It's coming from a place of what happened in the past here, because of what you've seen and what happened in the past and the experiences that you've had. And just like we were saying with the Weaver here, like because of the experiences that have like shaped your perspective here, it's like the associations that you're making. You're seeing certain behaviors or certain things that they're doing, and you're associating it with the outcomes in the past. And so you are like projecting this need to control the situation because you don't want to end up alone, right? Like you see what's going on and the way they're going about things, and you're like, oh, this is going to be that same thing. It's going to end up exactly like this. This isn't going to work out. So then you feel like you need to self-sabotage. So then you just end up alone because you're like, comfortable doing that anyways. The idea of having to go through what you went through before and like getting left alone is very uncomfortable. But the idea of just protecting yourself and just keeping yourself alone the whole time and just like staying secure within yourself and just remaining able to take care of yourself is more comfortable, right? But then you're the one that's like sabotaging, you're the one that's like knocking over the cup and like creating that you know what I mean? And so it's like we're here to kind of like help each other grow and like help each other see when each other are doing these things, and we're here to like make help each other make choices together and like learn from our choices and grow. And with the Judgment here, like this is a new thing. Like something is re-emerging, and it's not just the same as it was in the past, right? It's like been through the fire. It's been through the purification process here. So what I'm getting here, the main thing is like you are, just because of what's happened in the past, like when you see certain things or certain actions, right away it triggers, and you're like, I can't go back there, I don't want to go back to that. And so then you feel like you need to either control the situation and somewhat control the outcome. And if you can't do that, then just isolate to protect yourself, because that's all you can control, right? So what I'm getting here is just a need to release control, let go of control, relax, and like trust that this other person is going through their own process, and like what they're doing, like it's just what I'm getting is like the way that they make choices, or sometimes the way that they go about things, it might scare you because of the past, but they don't necessarily have intentions to hurt you again this time. And you have to trust them that they can make choices for themselves, and they can make a healthy choice. And they, if you get there where you want to get because like you controlled that other person and like you controlled the whole outcome, it's not going to be the same quality of relationship here. Like this isn't, you guys aren't going to be like passionately embracing each other and feeling like you're celebrating because you won. But it's so, I totally understand though, because it's like a trauma response. So I'm not trying to judge anyone here. I'm just being so honest with the energy that I see. But it's like if you can release the need to control and just have that sense of trust, the other person can make the choices and like go about things in the way that they need to go about things in order to get to this point here of just like opportunity to, and this point here, right? To like rise above everything and just have this like really, really passionate, fresh start here. And just like begin again, right? You have to trust this other person that they can make healthy choices for yourself and for the benefit of the relationship, because they do have a lot of really, really passionate feelings for you here, and they've had some sort of like wake up call, or there's been some sort of something that's happened in their life to where like the old is like falling away here, and they're really wanting to reemerge. And you're showing up as the sun again, and so it could just be like your light, something about you, you know. But there is an opportunity to rise above this here, like all of this with, like I said before, how it has the clouds and all this here. It's like this chance to overcome and to like emerge out of this here, and to start again on like the cycle from the beginning here. You know what, since this kind of turned into like a love situation, I'm gonna get one message card for fun. Like, what would this other person say? So we have I need more balance. So I'm getting self-awareness from this. And we have Ace of Cups underneath that, and reach out. So yeah, I feel like they need to balance the situation by like how this King of Cups has this like cup in front of him, and he's like kind of debating offering it here. There's like a self-awareness of what they need to do here. We also have reach out. So they are making their choices. And like with the I need more balance, and then like their card being the Lovers, I'm getting like they are trying to balance things out and like make certain choices and like free themselves up and like do certain things in their life in order to be more balanced and have like a more equal give and take. So they would tell you that they're really self-aware of that. And then we have, if I asked you to stay, would you leave? So they're mirroring you too in your fears. Like you have this fear that they're not going to choose this. This is the biggest thing that's crossing the situation here. You guys are both scared that if you really take that leap and you really go for it, that the other person is not going to be there. They're not going to meet you there. They're not going to be standing on the other side with you if you say yes. Like the picture in my head is like those game shows where like people have to like go into like certain areas and you don't get to know what the other person's answer is, and it's like yes or no, and then like you see if like each person said yes. I think Love Island is kind of like that. Like I'm just thinking of like game shows from like the early 2000s where just stupid competition stuff, whatever. That's just what I'm getting. Like each person is scared, like, okay, say I choose yes and they choose no, or you know what I mean? Like it's, but there's a potential here for you to choose yes and them to choose yes and you guys to come out and the answers to be revealed, and it's like yes. Well, like, you know, you both want each other, but you're both scared that if you really show your cards, or like you're really vulnerable, or you really ask for like a deeper commitment here, that the other person is not going to meet you or follow through, or do the things that they have to do, or like make the choices in their life to create a balance so that you guys can be like really successful together. Yeah, I think that's all I have for that. So thank you so much. If this resonated with you, you would like to book a personal reading, I have readings just like this one here and the link in my description. And I hope you have a really great day.